already called them. I'm going to show you how I re-wick this and why you don't need to use a lighter for a new coil or anything like that. So first I'm going to get rid of this cotton. Still a little bit of gunk in here. That's fine, it'll just burn off. So what I like to do is I'll turn up, my water are 67, so I'll turn this up so it burns quick. So I'll do something like that, and it'll light up. It'll catch on fire, it's fine. It's just cotton when not burning.
It's like little fireworks.
And then I pulse it. So hit it, let go of the button, hit it, because if you hold the button too long, it'll just quit out. It's a safety feature. So just keep doing this a bit, and then we go to water, to the bathroom.
Do I follow you?
So what I do is get it hot, and get really hot. Add some water, and still black, but once we get off that water, I'll do this about 2 to 3 times. So just get really hot. Shock the coil. Well, if you look in that corner post, you will see it's lighting in there. That's what was happening to your vape yesterday when you're asking me for help and why it was shorting out. The screws just get loose, either from too hot, the water shocking, it just ends up getting loose. So I'll go back over here. So when that happens, see you get. So when that happens, now you can see it's not even lighting up, or it is, but very slow, not quick like it was before. Simply go to the screw and just give it a turn. Also, you want to make sure that none of these coils are touching that post. If these are touching this post, you're shorting it. You also don't want coils to be touching each other. Like my Claptons I showed you, they look like they're touching each other, but there's a hair gap in there, hairline gap. So tiny, which works. Still doing it, so sometimes it could be too tight. So we'll just back this off and loosen it a little bit. Still doing it. And you do all this before you put your wick in. And there. It's no longer doing it in the hole. I'll wait for it to cool down. Oh, looks like it is a little bit, but that could be because it's too hot. So now what I'm going to do is lower my wattage back down to at 67, so we'll go below that. We're going to go about 59, I guess. Then I'm going to heat it up and check. It's doing it still in the corner. This one, it's not. So this one, just give it a snug more. You might even have to loosen it and just wiggle this wire, and that could also help. I'm just gonna get a good look, make sure nothing is touching my posts. Okay, and
No,
it's not doing it. And you always want to go from inside hot to the outside. That's right, that's heating up, and that's a problem. So I'm just gonna do this a couple times just to make sure. I'm gonna let it fully cool out. It's still a little red. And then I'll do it again. So we're good. Inside and outside. So no hot spots. Hot spots are when stuff gets super hot, super quick. But that's a that'd be if that color right there was happening over here, those are hot spots, or underneath, or up top here. See, that's a little bit of a hot spot, but I'm not gonna see how it gets hot there quick. I'm not gonna worry about that though. You also see my coil is no longer black after I rinsed it off. It's not black no more. It's perfectly decent looking for a week and a half now. Now, if this was a brand new coil like the one I gave you, you just put it in. You don't need a lighter, you don't need a torch. You just put it in, tight it down, and that's it. You don't have to do anything. The only thing you'd have to do is make sure that it's heating from inside to the outside, and there's nothing going on in the post. That's it. You don't need a lighter, you don't need nothing like that. That's stupid. Now, another tip is kind of how to know what you want your wattage to be set to is pretend you're vaping this now. So when you hit this button, you're going to start sucking, right? So I'm going to go, it's not getting hot right now. I'm still sucking, and now it's finally heating up. So I know I'm vaping at too low of a wattage. So I'll bring this up to 68 or 69. I'm going to let it cool down again. And it's probably still really hot. I got juice on here, that's why it's smoking. I don't want to touch my fingers, but it's decent. So now I go. See, still takes a little bit of time. So, oh, one last thing before we do continue with that. You'll see my ohms are at 0.39. Because we messed around with that, I'm gonna need. Sometimes this gets on pretty tight. So crack it free, loosen it till there it goes, 9999, and then I'll put it back on. Hit the button, new coil, yes, and look at that, my ohms are different. So now it's going to be 0.43 ohm. Now I'll do the same test again, like if I'm vaping it. It's taking too long, so my wattage needs to go up. It's still kind of red, so we're going to keep doing this until, there it goes. It lit up pretty decent time that time. So now I know, set at 78, so when I wick it and I put my tank on and everything, test it at 78, see how I feel about it, go up or down. That's why you'll see some people, when they'll blow the smoke out first and then inhale, it's because as they're holding this, it's not heating up quick enough. So they're blowing all of that nasty smoke out, and then they'll suck in because they know after about a few seconds it'll be good taste. Also, they're not. I'll just do, for example, again, we'll go down to 64. So right now they'd be blowing out, and then they let go of the button, and then they hit it again because they know it's gonna be hot, and then they'll vape again. Because like I say, you keep pulsing it, it's just gonna get hotter. And then we go to wicking. This whole bag right here cost me like 10 bucks. There's 130 sheets. After cleaning your coils, if they look like this, I'll put on this white thing so you can kind of see it. It kind of looks copperish. It kind of looks black in this video, but in my eyes, they're kind of copper looking. They're a little brown, and that's after cleaning it. This is clean, so this is a bad coil. This is almost getting there, but it's not. It's still fine. That's how you know when to change your coils. Because this is a single coil and it's huge. It took me like an hour just to get it working on here. I have to use like most of my wick, my cotton. So an average rule is you would take your the width of this in like half, so it should be about there. But I'm just gonna do the same width as this. I found that to be for this coil. Found that's how it works. So I just kind of eyeball it. I'm gonna go right about there. And then I'll take the thinner side, because I like it to be a little bit thicker in this coil. I'll give it a little bit of an angle cut. And what that allows is when you twist it, you can twist it a lot easier, and it doesn't really mess up the rest. I used to not do this, but I find it works a lot better now. And the thickness of this thing, it's just a little too thick. When you wick this coil, you don't want it to pull the coil. You don't want it too loose, and you'll leak. And you'll go through quite a bit of juice pretty quick, actually. Too tight, you'll have burnt taste flavors because the juice can't flow through the cotton quick enough. So it's gonna burn out. You're gonna have to re-wick in probably 5 hours because it's too thick. So what I'll do is I'll just peel off a little bit. Sometimes these cotton are thinner than others, but usually, sometimes if you can see through it, like the transparent, like on this eel, if you can see through the cotton a little bit, then it's usually good enough. But this is a thick piece, so I had to take off a bit more, so it's not fully transparent, but you could kind of see through it. So it ends up like that. And then now I'll just take this tip, and because the tip's right there, done. I'll just give a little bit snug more because it's kind of big. Before I wick this, if you can fully put your finger on it, and it's not hot or warm, because you don't want to start burning the cotton, then you're good to go. So now, simply place it through. See, I can't get all the way to the side, so I'm just gonna twist it up a bit more. The only reason I don't twist a lot is because I need like pretty much this whole piece on this coil. So we go all the way in, grab it. You'll see my coils. As I pull through, you don't want them to, if you see they tug a little bit, that's okay. If they're really tugging on them and forcing them over, you don't want that. And then just give it a little fluff. Now, in my tank right now, I don't know if you can kind of see, but there's 2 holes right there. That's where my juice flow comes out. And because these posts move, my other 2 holes are on this side. That's where the juice flow. You have to have wick on them, otherwise it'll leak. So I'll grab, I used to have nice tweezers, but I'll grab this. This is the tool I use to make coils. It's, there's numbers on here. I don't know if you can see it, 3.5, 3.5. So each little rigid on this thing is that size. So I just wrap it on this. So I'll take this, I'll grab it, and we'll just flick it in there. If it's too little, see, that's a little too little. So I don't want it to be, I don't want to force it out like this because it's going to come back and go back this way. That's too little. So we'll pull this out. And we'll pull a little bit more. And then we'll do it again. And we'll snug it all in there, and that's good. It's covering this juice hole, it's covering that juice hole, a little bit more, less chance of it to leak. This side's a little bit trickier. There's a little gap right here that I need to go under. If you can, have to go underneath that post. So this side's a little bit more trickier. Remember, each coil you're wicking it differently. There's also Scottish wicks and Scottish rolled wicks. I was going to try it on this. I tried it once, but I messed up. On the coil messed up, I mean. So I didn't do it again. So I just post it down. I don't like put much pressure on it to make it tight. So now this is what I got left. I got my 2 juice holes there. And so I said I need like this whole thing to wick on this coil. Most of the time I take quite a bit off. I cut some, that's probably too much. I cut a little bit more. So that's what I got left. Then we're going to take it and we're going to shove it down here to those juice holes right here. Now I'm going to show you a new practice how to prime up your wick. I wonder if I still have juice in my other container. Oh, it's in my car. Okay, so let me use this bottle. Here's what you should do for wicking. So pour juice just over the coil. And you'll see, this is better for yours, not so much on mine, but you'll fire it up. What it does is it burns the juice out and it pushes it to the cotton, and it makes the cotton more thick. So you just put it over top of the coil, and this way your whole cotton gets soaked. As you can see, it's already sort of coming to this side. And then you fire it again.
Mother fluff.
And if you look at it, you want to do this because as you do this, your cotton gets thicker. It got thicker down there, got thicker here, and it got thicker over here. And it's all wet everywhere right now. And then I'll just do one more little squeeze, and I'll just leave it. That's pretty much it. After that, just make sure your cap obviously doesn't touch inside of here. I'm going to clean this out actually. But yeah, you just put the cap on, screw it on, and start vaping again.
Fill it up in the vape.
Yeah, mine's already full. I already have juice in mine. See, I can pop my cap off without it leaking out. It's all the juice. And yeah, so if you have a new coil, just put it in there. Don't do what you're doing.